In the United States, we grow up drinking milk with nearly every meal. In fact, it wasn't until I left the US for the first time that I realized we're the only nation in the world that consumes milk in such vast quantities. Others find it downright bizarre that Americans drink glasses and glasses of milk, and for many, it's their beverage of choice. Why is milk an ingredient added to so many foods that don't need it? Before we get into what's wrong with milk, here's a brief history lesson to understand the madness of milk in America. During World War II, milk powder was a way to give soldiers nutrients during winter, or whenever fresh food was not available. So the US government called upon American farmers to patriotically convert their existing farms into dairy farms in order to ramp up milk production. Once the war ended, far too much time, money, and effort had been invested. They were left with an enormous surplus of milk that needed to be sold, and that was the beginning of heavily marketing milk onto the American population. We're told we need milk to grow strong, and without it, our bones will be brittle and break. But then, how are the foreigners I met overseas so incredibly tall and strong, yet never drank a glass of milk a day in their lives? And how does my 90-year-old grandmother, who's been drinking milk daily her entire life, have osteoporosis? Despite all the propaganda, the fact is this: our bodies just don't absorb cow's milk calcium as well as it can plant calcium. Who knew? Probably the dairy industry. They know. And man, do they do a good job of making sure you don't. We might even think cows make the calcium, but they do not. Calcium is an element, and there are many sources of cow-free calcium available to us. Did you know that most of us actually have a dairy intolerance? This leads to acne, inflammation, bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea, and more uncomfortable side effects. As a person who's always struggled with acne, I look back thinking how unnecessarily frustrating that was, since giving up dairy was the last yet most effective thing I did to clear my skin. Like meat, dairy means antibiotic resistance, as well as hormones, both natural and growth hormones, which are injected into livestock to make them grow bigger, faster. Milk's impact on animals. Milk production means pregnancy, and pregnancy means artificial insemination. Dairy cows do not mean they naturally produce milk at all times. Like humans, all female animals must first give birth in order to produce milk. Mother cows are separated from their baby calves within the first 24 hours of delivery so that farmers can start collecting their milk. Babies and their mothers are never to be together again, so the dairy industry can maximize profits. If babies are female, they're put on formula to drink instead and will be used in the future to continue the milk-making cycle. If baby cows are male, they're deemed useless to the dairy industry and are sent to the slaughterhouse to become veal. Once female cows can no longer produce milk, they are slaughtered for meat. This is typically around age 4, despite a cow's natural lifespan of 20 years old. If you think you're not killing an animal when you consume dairy, think again. You still contribute to inevitable animal slaughter. If you yourself are a mother, this insight on the dairy industry likely leaves you in particular very uneasy. Some say it's impossible to be a feminist and support such systems of female exploitation, even in the animal form. While the reality of our food industry is unsettling, your actions do pay off. There is proof in the pudding, or plant-based milk rather. Non-dairy milk is an excellent example of how consumers make a huge difference. In recent years, the dairy industry is finally feeling defeated, experiencing record profit loss, and even shutting down dairy farms once and for all. All thanks to you. Consumers have spoken through their shopping and instead choose oat milk, almond milk, soy milk, hemp milk, coconut milk, rice milk, cashew milk, flaxseed milk, macadamia milk. You decide every day with your dollars what you wish to support.